we'll take this heartbreaking account, which is emerging from Kaduna State, as the husband of a woman lynched by a mob has made a shocking allegation saying that the police handed his wife to the mob and watched them burn her alive. Mohammed Aliyu said his wife, Malama Umul Kari Usman, who is an Islamic school teacher and mother of 4, was traveling to an Islamic lecture in Maraban, Jos, when she stopped to ask children for direction and was forcefully accused of child theft by residents who then formed a mob. He said police took her into protective custody, but then the DPO allegedly led her back outside, straight into the hands of the waiting mob, who lynched and burned her alive. A video showing the scene has gone viral on social media. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's take a look.
Yanzu dai matan da ake zarginta da satan yaran ne, tuni al'umma an kasa shawo kansu. Nan take dai sun kashe matar kuma sun cinna mata wuta. Yanzu haka wannan hayaki da ake kallo gawar matan da ake zargin ne suka kashe ta, kuma aka sanya mata wuta a daidai wannan lokacin. To dai da yake abu ne zargi ne.
Well, the Nigerian police force has denied the allegation, but the Inspector General of Police has ordered an independent probe into the officer's conduct. 40 or more suspects have been arraigned. Governor Uba Sani has condemned the killing in the strongest terms, describing it as barbaric and unacceptable, and announced that his administration will cater for the upkeep of Mohammed Aliyu and fund the education of their 4 children. Let's take a look.
All the people are involved, no matter the number. We will ensure that justice is done. And the fact of the matter is that nobody will kill an innocent person, cannot sit and go free without anything. And as a government, we made it clear. Those charged with culpable homicide certainly will face the law. In a situation like this, everyone must be investigated, including the police. They are doing their best, but we have to ensure that everyone must come clean in the course of this investigation. And the government of Kaduna State will take care of all the family of the deceased, particularly her children and her husband.
41 persons have been charged with culpable homicide. A teacher, a mother, forcefully accused, has died needlessly. Nigerians are demanding justice for the late teacher and her family. May her soul rest in peace. Your thoughts?
May her soul rest in peace. This is incredibly, incredibly sad. But I think it gives us a sense of what the temperature of the nation is currently. There's heightened anger, and people are people are reluctant to wait for the justice process because they feel that the justice process has failed them time and time again, or perhaps they do not see that justice is being served, and therefore they take matters into their own hands. With the spate, I mean, look at what Senator Shomole said earlier in the show about kidnappers, that let's just kill them, publicly execute them. And this is an admission of the failure of states to arrest the situation. And this is what we see in Katsina State, because what happened was that the woman was around children and the community erroneously thought that she was a kidnapper, and without giving her the opportunity to defend herself or for the justice system in Nigeria to play its course, they took matters into their own hands, and we saw jungle justice at play. And if we're not careful, and this is why we keep on a daily basis encouraging the government to do something about the insecurity and the spate of kidnapping, because after a while the people get tired and they will take matters into their own hands, and then we have a state of anarchy. We descend into a state of anarchy when people begin to behave in a barbaric manner in such a manner. So having come out, and the glee, I think it's just sad. And the same thing that happened in Ozora that we're talking about in Delta State. Yes. The glee with which Nigerians come out to stone or to do things that are ought to be shameful, ought to be studied. There's a psychological impact of the level of trauma that Nigeria has faced in recent times based on insecurity, terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, rape, and all kinds of manner of stories that we have. So there is an intolerance of crime. However, it does not in any way justify jungle justice. Now, with the police officer, the DPO that was in question,
yes,
the report says that they actually took the lady initially in to provide her some form of safety. But hundreds of mobs, a mob came to the police station, and I'm not speaking in defense of the DPO, but sometimes they become so overwhelmed by the people that it almost seems as if they sacrificed the woman in order to save, because anything could have happened. They could have set the police station ablaze. They could have attacked the police officers. And so that's another thing around the fact that even the police officers are overwhelmed.
Yes.
They cannot control the situation. After a while, the people overwhelm the security operatives, and that is very, very dangerous. But let an investigation be held.
Okay, this is not the last time this would happen. Because we have a reign of impunity in this country. People take the laws into their hands, and it will happen again because they always get away with it. You remember the case of Deborah Samuel.
Yes.
In 2022, May, the student at a college of education in Sokoto.
Yes.
There was also a woman in Abuja, Eunice Elisha, who was said to be preaching.
Eunice Olawale.
Yes.
Elisha. You know, who was said to be preaching early morning, and then religious fanatics set her ablaze.
Nothing of Bridget.
We have many examples like that. So they get away with it, so it happens. About the police, we cannot give any excuse. The job of the police is to protect lives and property.
Yes.
And they say that the police is your friend.
Well,
where the police fails to be your friend, it also shows, you know, the weakness of institutions and the failure of that institution. So we cannot excuse it. Well, it's a good thing that Governor of Kaduna State says justice will be done.
Yes.
That is the barest minimum that the state can do. And he's one of those governors who support the state police.
Right. All right.
You know, his commitment
you're
is to...
absolutely right, Dr. Abati.
I hope
this will be a different sort of case because the governor is involved at this point and he has promised to take care of the family, and he has said that the police or whoever that is guilty of this crime will be charged. So, I mean, it's good that we're seeing a proactive governor at this point tackling this menace in the north.